We've all been there, scrolling through our phone, trying to find something to distract us from this feeling of being bored. Man, I hate boredom. To be honest, I combine boring house cleaning activities with listening to a podcast. And I do this with some wired earphones, cause I'm old school. The same hack I apply when going for a walk or when I'm traveling. Time is precious, so every moment of potential boredom should be filled with something more meaningful. Feeling bored is for losers. I just need to be entertained. But what if we stop running away from boredom and start embracing it? Boredom. Often people see it as something negative, something that we must avoid at all costs. And to a certain degree, this is true. For instance, in the workplace, boredom can be a sign that you are not challenged enough, or that the job you are currently doing is not that fulfilling. But boredom is not always a negative thing. Why? Well, to answer this question, let's take a step back. With the rise of social media, we have more access to distractions and entertainment than ever before. And this makes it easier to avoid feelings of boredom. I mean, if I look at myself, when I'm experiencing boredom for just 1 second, I immediately grab my phone to find some novel stimuli. And I did this everywhere. Restaurants, supermarkets, when going for a walk, at the gym. Basically, I was filling every moment of potential boredom with some novel stimuli. But interesting things happen when we are in a less stimulating state. Let me explain. As we all know, the brain is really complicated. Therefore, Barbara Oakley, the author of this book, A Mind for Numbers, simplifies the brain by splitting it into 2 fundamentally different modes, which she calls the focus mode and diffuse mode. Now, in short, the focus mode kicks in when you are highly focused on something with no distractions. So we can see the focus mode of thinking as concentrated attention. Or in other words, we turn our attention to something and bam, the focus mode is on. On the other hand, we have the diffuse mode of thinking. This mode of thinking happens when you relax and just let your mind wander. So in this mode, we don't focus on one thing in particular. Now, the nice part about the diffuse mode is that it triggers other areas in the brain. In this mode, we cannot do the careful focused thinking, but we can get to the place where we need to be to come up with new insights or even come up with a solution for a difficult problem. And this happens more or less subconsciously. But more important, we cannot be in both modes at the same time. So maybe you already see a problem here. If you are constantly filling every moment of potential boredom with some novel stimuli, you are not triggering this diffuse mode of thinking, which can be a very powerful mode for coming up with new insights, ideas, or solutions to specific topics or difficult problems. So embracing boredom and allowing your mind to wander can be really beneficial in problem solving and creativity. But there's another advantage. As you probably know, your brain can become overstimulated and we need to give it rest. Now, did I come up with this myself? Of course not. I also stole this from a book called Deep Work, written by Cal Newport. In this book, Cal Newport suggests that unfortunately we do not have an infinite resource to concentrate deeply on a specific task. He even suggests that well-trained people can concentrate for a maximum of 4 hours a day, but rarely more. And our ability to focus becomes harder and harder once our upper limit is reached. But luckily we can restore our ability to focus intensely. And that's simply by giving our brain rest. Now, this doesn't mean that we must lie on the couch or that we must meditate. It can be as simple as doing everyday tasks or going for a walk as long as we don't expose our brain to new and exciting things that would distract us. So the next time you are cooking, cleaning your home, or going for a walk, don't grab your phone or listen to a podcast. Just be in that moment and let your mind wander. It gives you superpowers, man. Cheers.